fake, they be lying in your face. When you tell them how it is, ain't no secret. Just know forever is dope. Same through the struggle, I'm trying to stay humble. You hate on me, but just know that I love you. Cause I'd probably go do the same if I was you, wow. Still taking risks, still posting the bricks. And he still walk around with like 2 chains. Still in the mix, still taking down your chick. Still with a bad bitch with some moves.
We're still riding that high from Kawhi's Game 7 right into the finals. For Adis Kucukovic, I'm Jay Boyal. By now you know we're in the mix. And we got a lot of stuff going on, man. Toronto Raptors
Whole lot.
are 2 wins away from being dubbed NBA championships. And I know a lot of people I just want to chill you out. A lot of people, just chill out for a second. 2 wins is a lot. Then you got the St. Louis Blues. They didn't play their best game last night, but they're up 3-2 against Boston. Lots of controversy surrounding that game. President Cam Neely whipping shit at the wall in his booth.
Was it the signing bottle?
Yeah. Bruce Cassidy, the coach, absolutely shredding the refs post-game. Nola Chari as well. He was subject of that non-call trip to Tyler Bozak. And then we got
the biggest
Canadian
boxer right now.
The biggest fight in Canadian boxing in the last 15 years since Lennox Lewis called it quits in 2004.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Steve Rolls, local boy who trains just a 5-minute walk from the place we are recording right now.
Yes, sir.
Against Gennady Triple G Golovkin in MSG this Saturday. My boy Adis will be live there. He's going to take some up-close video. You're going to try and get you're going to take some stuff backstage of Steve Rolls, whether you like it or not. I'm telling you.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm telling you right now.
Oh, regardless, yeah.
If you come back with no content for our people from that fight,
well, I'll have some.
If you come back with no content,
I'll have some.
I'm gonna come back with no co-host.
You guys can check out the after party.
After party. So you're telling me you're going to MSG,
Mm-hmm.
you have an after party, and you didn't invite me?
Huh? Yo,
share in the comments.
You ain't part of the dream team.
Share in the comments how much BS that is.
Hey, say what
he
you
doesn't
want.
take his boy here,
team.
but he's taking his girlfriend's friend.
I'm gonna put that out right now.
Your girlfriend, I agree with. She's cool people.
Yeah.
Her friend. Wow, that hurts. Shot to the hearts. To the hearts.
What can happen?
You know what?
You could even make it. Probably you work.
I could take work off to go party in New York. I got family in New York too. Could have put us up for free. Manhattan.
So the Raptors got 2 more wins.
This guy switched up the topic real quick now, eh? All right, go with the Raps.
All right, Raps in 5. What do you think?
It's 6 or 7, man. 5.
Raps in 6, eh?
It's 6 or 7 if they win. But I don't. I'm not still even convinced that they're favorites to win the series. Let's start there.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
By the way,
let's start
I think
there.
Sports Center posted it. They said that Raptors are -115 favorite to win the NBA championship this year.
Which means in betting ways, if you would have to bet. What is it? If you bet $10, you win 15 or something like that with those odds.
I think so. I honestly don't know how those numbers work.
Screw the money line. Bet with your odds.
But those things change.
Yeah.
Especially with if they lose tonight,
they were the favorite to win the series,
different.
but Golden State is still the betting odds favorite to win Game 4, according to Vegas. So let's start
they
there.
Gotta come back with some heat.
Do you think the Raptors are still the favorite, or now the favorite, to win the NBA championship, up 2-1, winning a game with no KD and no Klay Thompson?
I don't for this series. I don't see a favorite. Because it's like almost a back and forth every game. You know.
Yep.
You can't just because we won 2 doesn't mean we're favorite now.
Yeah.
Like we're still playing the Golden State Warriors. Like they came back from a 3-1 to OKC.
They've done it before. And that OKC team was.
And we've seen it in the finals before. Even though it happened to them, it can happen to anyone.
Steve Kerr talked about it. They've been in a lot of situations, this Golden State team, so they still have their heavy confidence, and I think they should. Rightfully so.
Mindset. If they still think they're champs,
so here's what I'll say.
Team.
The Raptors should feel good about last game. You won a game that you're supposed to win, that you had to win.
And if you led the whole game pretty much by 10 points.
If you had lost that game, the series would have been over. But congratulations, you won. But Klay Thompson is coming back in Game 4. That's a fact, right?
Let's
before I get to KD, let me just say this about Klay. Shooting wise, he seems fine. Watching him in pregame, in practice last game,
that don't matter.
And he said shooting is fine when he feels pain. Is quick cuts. So how effective is he gonna be? I think he's still gonna have a decent impact. He's gonna get at least 15 to 20 points. The issue for him becomes, all right, he's a catch and shoot guy, and how he gets those catch and shoot opportunities is because his cuts.
I was just about to mention that.
But
you need those cuts.
You've seen it before. elevator screens, the double off-ball screens that Golden State can run,
Yeah.
the dump-off where they'll have a big man, probably Cousins now, being the only center, and Bogut will come and set a screen, and Steph will set that double screen when he's got the ball in his hand, just to dump it off the clay behind him. So I think they can still get him open looks. But he'll be an effective off-ball. And then KD will be back by Game 5, Game 6 at the latest.
I don't think Game 5.
Okay, even Game 6.
I'm
That's,
not sold he's
for
coming
me,
back on Game 5.
that's when the series starts.
That's when it starts?
Do you think, because are you telling me then, if the Raptors win Game 4 and go up 3-1, and if they go up 3-1, KD's coming back Game 5. If he comes back Game 5, are you telling me you have full utter confidence the Raptors will win this series up 3-1 with KD coming back?
Listen.
Answer the question.
Yes, but let me get to why.
Agree to disagree.
When was the last time KD played a NBA playoff game?
Game 5 against Houston.
Exactly. And when was the last time he even practiced with the Warriors?
The day before Game 5 against Houston.
You telling me that this guy doesn't come back the same KD that he was earlier in the playoffs?
No,
this guy hasn't practiced. He hasn't played.
But 80%
and that's
KD.
That's who Golden State's gonna put their full trust in to win them the series.
So how
the guy who hasn't played or practiced for a few weeks.
We know
now.
Kawhi Leonard is not healthy right now. What would you say he's at? 85% of Kawhi right now. We're getting 90 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say about that. Well, to him, it's 100%. Because as he said,
if
I'm playing, I'm
for sure.
fine. Yeah.
But you see how he's now, he takes a step aside through the first 3 quarters, at least the first half.
Yeah.
And then he saves his juice, right?
But I feel like he's doing that because he's playing Golden State. Because he knows that's what Golden State does.
But I think he's more conscious about picking the spots, right?
Yeah.
So KD coming back at even 80 to 85%, the most lethal scorer in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
One of the most lethal scorers we've ever seen in the history of the sport. Okay,
Name me a top scorer,
80% KD is still a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be 80%. If he comes back for Game 5, I feel like it's kind of like let's say we do pull it off tonight and we do win the Game 4.
Yep.
They're like, okay, fuck, now we actually need KD. It's a rush. He's being rushed in. He hasn't even practiced with the team yet. You're telling him not practicing or doing anything with the team is gonna be 80%. That's way less than 80%. I'm telling you, if he does come back for Game 5, it's going to be about 60-70.
So what do you think his impact will be?
Just offensively.
Okay, no, for sure. But how many points you see him? What does he shoot percentage-wise?
It's still KD.
Is he able to
this guy
attack the
can
hoop,
still
or is he
shoot
just
over.
pulling up?
He's just pulling up, I feel.
You don't think his calf's going to be strong enough for him to lean on it, eh?
No. Not for the whole game. Maybe if he does, he might take a page out of Kawhi's book. He might just take it easy for the first 3 and then just come alive in the 4th.
Pick his spots.
Yeah. Because that's what we saw him do when he played, I think the first game we played Golden State in the regular season.
Yeah.
He came alive in the 4th, hit the 2 big threes to take it to overtime.
But to me, it's not even the direct relation of what is KD going to do.
Yeah.
It's how much he changes how you have to guard that team and all the other extra stuff that you have to deal with from the Raptors' perspective if KD's in that lineup. All right? Now you cannot, forget the box and one, you cannot throw as many bodies at Steph. You can't. Because you throw bodies at Steph. Now, if Klay's feeling good and KD's there, you're leaving those guys wide open. I don't care if KD's even 5% of Kevin Durant. He's hitting wide open shots. It's going to happen.
If anyone was going to switch up, it will not be the guy that's guarding KD.
And then Kawhi's going on KD if KD's in the game.
Yeah.
So you can't give him no looks with Kawhi on Steph. Even though he didn't have many last game, he still pressured him a lot. Yeah. You have no looks with Kawhi on Steph. But Steph last game still burned you for 46 with bodies being thrown at him. So if no bodies are being thrown at him, what's he doing then?
A lot of. I feel like
some dumb shots.
Toronto was being really lazy off the screen. They would set a screen for Steph Curry, and then there's no follow up. It's just Curry completely wide open for a 3.
Well, it's what I've been telling you. They're not fighting through screens, and they're switching way too easy, and their switches have been brutal too.
That's what I'm saying. So he had his 46 points last night, but I saw a lot of open threes that he took. It wasn't like
couple crazy stupid Steph.
Of course, it's still Steph Curry, but I'm saying a lot of easy buckets.
But even that
well.
deep one that kept getting replayed. So you had 2 deep ones, one just past the logo, and the one from the right shoulder.
Yeah.
Again, off the switch, Ibaka doesn't even come up on him.
Ibaka,
Steph is 6 feet behind the 3-point line, and Ibaka was 4 feet behind the 3-point line. You gave him 10 feet of space. Yeah. No matter how far Steph Curry is, he's gonna hit that 80%
this guy
of the time.
could be the other side of the court, and you still got.
If he's wide open, it's going in. He almost did it at the end of the first half.
Yeah, he pulled up,
clank off the rim, full court.
But they were smart in that they said, okay, you know what, Curry's probably gonna go off. He'll probably have his 30, 40 points.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that no one else has even close to 20.
Yeah. So really, I think when it comes to the talking points, it really just determines the Raptors are the favorite. If KD doesn't come back, they should win. The reason I'm hesitating to say that the Raptors, I'm picking them to win now, changing my original pick where I picked Golden State in 6. I thought KD would have been back by Game 4. He's not. So I'm going to hold off on saying the Raptors are the favorite still. Until they tell me that KD is not playing at all, or if Raptors win it all in Game 6 and he's not playing. But I want to talk about Steph Curry. We know how good he is. Everybody's been reminded since KD's been out. He learned last game what it was like for LeBron James to play against him.
Definitely did.
And Steph, not as big of an impact as LeBron because the playmaking of LeBron and the rebounds is still above all. But he did just about everything else.
Steph had how many rebounds? I was actually like,
8 or 9.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, damn, you can't be letting this guy rebound you.
Before we get into what that does and what that means in the longevity of his career and the legacy, did you see that reporter who asked him the stupidest question of the press conference? There's been a lot of stupid questions because I think they let in so many idiots for the NBA Finals just because they want money and media coverage. But the guy asked him after the game, with no KD and no Klay Thompson, did you feel the need that you had to score more than distribute against when those guys in the lineup? And Steph just looked at him and said, yes. Yes.
Do plants need sun to grow?
And all Steph said yes twice,
dumbest question
and then just
I've
looked
heard.
at him like, do you have something else for me? And the guy said, I have a follow-up to that, and Steph wanted to kill him. But
follow-up to that? What's your follow-up,
so,
please?
So, anyways, we saw that Steph can almost do what LeBron did, but just as shitty of a team, if not worse than LeBron had. Is he now in that conversation with LeBron, KD, and Kawhi as the top players in the league?
Like, he's always been in that conversation.
I think the mass majority of people have ripped him out of that conversation for 2-3 years since KD stepped in there.
Like that, he is. It's fact. When his career is done and over, everyone you know that he is. He's always been in there.
Okay, no, but I'm saying right now, like for best player in the league, do you put him in that conversation, or is he a tier below still?
He's in the conversation, but like top 3, no.
And why do you think he's not in that top 3? So he's not in the conversation then. If he's not in that top 3, if you don't say he's got a chance to be in that top 3,
defensively.
All right.
So you got to be a two-way player in today's NBA.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like what's his name, Thompson coming back, like he's gonna still give you those shots, like 3-pointers.
I think they missed his
defensively. I feel like, but even him coming back injured, like I feel like he's gonna drop down defensively. You saw Danny Green. How many threes did he have? 8?
6, I think.
Okay, 6. Yeah, like he maybe put up 1 3.
Yeah,
what's it called in the earlier games?
But Klay's usually covering Kawhi.
Some plays.
Most plays. It's either Klay or Iguodala on Kawhi.
Yeah, but I feel Iguodala he's been doing his work on Kawhi. But I'm telling you, if Klay does come back, well, he is going to come back tonight. He's gonna be a presence offensively, not defensively, and that's gonna open up a lot of things for Toronto's offense.
What do you think Golden State missed more? What hurt them more? Not having his defense or his offense?
Honestly, with the amount of points that Curry was throwing up, I feel like it was the defense.
Yeah, 100%. Steph had to go on ball on guys more when he's not used to doing that. They don't, I wouldn't say hide, but they put Steph in the shadows on the defense, right?
Because he was putting up the amount of points that you have another guy open always, You have a guy like Kucukovic open for the 3.
Yeah.
They're not hitting them, but...
Well, he had 47 points. Shot 45%.
Who was the second top scorer?
Draymond Green had 17. But after that, oh my God, it was hairy. So Andre Iguodala, 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Then DeMarcus Cousins, 4 points. This guy fell off a cliff. Sean Livingston, 4 points.
Thank God, bro. They were treating this guy like he was the king after 11 points and 10 rebounds.
Quentin Cook, 9. Bogut, 6. McKinney, 3. Trebko, 6. Jordan Bell, 2. And just to get the Cousins. Everybody was talking about this guy played such a great game. 11 points.
Oh, he had to fight back to get into the starting line.
I was impressed game 2 with his ability on defense to shut down Marc Gasol from what Gasol did game 1 and give him a different look. But Gasol was able to figure it out last game because he played much better in game 2. He came through with 17 after having only, I think, a classic Marc Gasol night, only 7 points in game 2.
But then again, what we spoke about this when the series was about to start, the supporting cast, I felt like was going to be a big part. And Toronto's supporting cast last game was going off. We had about, 3-4 players over 15 points. We had
the whole starting lineup was Larry, in double digits. Plus Fred VanVleet was in double digits too. At 11. So like, the whole start.
That's a problem.
When you're starting 5, all it's double digits plus your 6th man. It works out well. But last game was the first time the Raptors, their bench, they still don't think they outscored Golden State's bench, and that's one issue. But last game was kind of a wash because the Warriors played 11 guys deep.
I know, yeah.
Because they had to. No Clay, no KD.
Yeah, you have to try everything.
Yeah.
You have to put everyone out there.
If Danny Green contributes like that, the next game and game after,
and everyone else does too. Series. I need Larry to contribute like that. I need Siakam to contribute like that. Van Fleet.
Before we wrap up this NBA Finals talk, Kyle Lowry, best player on the court last game other than Steph Curry?
Best player on the court other than Steph Curry?
Yeah.
No. Kawhi. Are you kidding me? How many? Kawhi had 30 points?
30. Okay, and Kyle Lowry had 23.
What?
Shot 50%. Was 5 of 9 from deep. Was a dog on defense. Didn't foul like he used to. Well, had so much more energy, dictating the pace the whole game.
Okay.
He was the best and most important player for the Raptors that game. He dictated everything that went on from tip-off to the final buzzer. He controlled that game.
When it came to the fourth quarter.
That's Kawhi's time. You got to show up then. Kyle Lowry bought you the time to rest Kawhi.
Huh? The only thing that pissed me off, they still did the rotation where they rest Kawhi in the fourth. We were talking about it literally during the game. I wanted them to rest him at the end of the third.
What I don't understand is it's proven that is a better tactic. And the Raptors went up 16 points.
Especially when you're playing Golden State, who goes off in the fourth. Rest them in the third, please.
Here's the things. Golden State's best quarter, all playoffs, has been the third quarter. And you ended up with a 16-point lead with 2 minutes remaining in the third. How do you not put Kawhi on the bench?
Why have him on the court?
And then have him play the whole fourth. Instead, you're playing risky business, having him sit the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. It went well for them. We've seen it go very bad.
Imagine if Clay was playing, or like one of these other guys. It could have been way worse.
Yeah. So we'll see what Nick Nurse does tonight with Clay playing. Does that change his rotations?
Hopefully he does change it. I have a feeling he won't, just because it worked for his last game.
Yeah, but you can't be stubborn like that.
All right, give me your final thoughts. Raptors winning tonight or losing?
Raptors are going to win game 4. And then before we close off...
Oh, you think it's going to 3-1, eh?
Yeah.
Woo!
I still think it's going 7, though.
Oh, I was about to say 5 games.
Just to close off, Mark Stevens, I'm glad you're banned for 1 year.
Thank
the guy
God,
who
bro,
pushed Kyle Lowry. But you had a good point. I'll let you give it. Drake.
Yeah. Stop fucking talking about Drake. Drake doesn't touch the other opposing players. And if he does, it's in a friendly way because He's giving them a handshake. I had no idea who this Mark Stevens guy was. When I saw him push Larry, I'm like, bro,
Toronto was about to squat up and bring out the gats and the crowbars and fly out the Golden State.
Thank God Larry's such a classy guy. If I was on that court, I would have slapped that man right across his face.
I've seen you. You would have thrown hands.
Bro, and I'm sure there's a lot of, players that would. They would have reacted in some way. Not the top players, the lower level players. But I'm saying, how, as a fan, how can you do that?
Yeah.
This is a what are you gonna do? Honestly, what did that push do? He pushed himself back.
Why do you have that malice in your head? He had utter disgust.
Apparently, he was saying some vulgar shit to him too while pushing him.
He said, "Go fuck yourself." Something like that.
Who are you, bro? What if he hit you back? You'd be freaking calling the police and stuff.
And that's what LeBron James said. Could you imagine if Kyle Lowry put his hands on Mark Stevens?
I saw. Yeah, thank God LeBron says something.
Shouts to LeBron. He's an advocate. They would have called for Kyle Lowry to be arrested.
Literally, exactly. Put in jail for the night.
Yeah,
at least.
So I still think the NBA's got to find a way to ban this guy from.
They did for a year, no?
Yeah, I mean from owning the Warriors, his small percentage. They got to force him.
I want the Warriors to come out and say something against this guy.
They did.
They did?
Yes. You missed the memo.
I must have missed it, yeah.
You missed the memo.
Because I was going to say,
Adam Silver said he cannot force somebody to sell their share of the team. It's got to go to the vote to the board and 3/4. Much like happened with the guy with the Clippers. I forget his name when they said you have to sell the team, and Steve Ballmer bought it. Because
the guy who made those comments to his girlfriend?
Yeah, when he said what were the
racist
prisoners
shit,
and that guy was a loon.
These old white dudes, man, they're so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
All right,
there's good ones too.
We're going from history, one facet of history being made in Canada, to another.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Steve Rolls, I would bet the money in on my bank account that nobody watching this has ever heard of Steve Rolls unless they've seen our post on our page.
Exactly.
All right. He is fighting for middleweight,
Huh? Yes, the middleweight title.
No
title.
He's fighting for a chance potentially to fight for the middleweight title,
yes, sir.
Against a dog, a veteran,
easily the second
champion,
best middleweight right now in boxing.
The number 6 pound for pound fighter in the world, Gennady Triple G Golovkin, Saturday MSG. All right, you're gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there.
But before we get to how we see the fight playing out, tell us, who the fuck is Steve Rolls? I know him a little bit just from the work he does at a local gym. Just a 5-minute walk from my house where we're recording right now, and you talking about him. Tell us, where's Steve Rolls? Where did he come from? And how did he end up with this opportunity at 35 years old?
Listen, this guy's like he's flown under the radar. He is 19-0. His last fight was against you can't call him a journeyman, but he's fought a few title holders. His name was Keandre Leatherwood. Completely dominated this guy from round 1 to 10. And he's won the nationals twice for Canada. He's fought numerous tournaments in the States. He even moved down to the States to train and to try making his name out there.
That was years ago.
Huh? Yeah, it was in his amateur days. And he came back to Canada to try going over to the Olympics.
And then he did he win the Olympics?
He didn't. I don't think he.
No, I don't think he did.
He did the fights before you actually go to the Olympic Games, but I don't think he wanted to wait around for it because he was getting up there in age. So he knew let's go over to pro, and he did. He's made waves in pros. As much as you guys don't know who he is, he's still undefeated, which is
and he's got
in boxing is like the biggest
10 KOs in 19 fights, professional fights.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, skill wise, this is a very competitive fight. As much as people want to be like, oh, it's just a tune-up fight for Triple G, this is an insanely competitive fight.
Well, that's what everybody's saying is that
this is no tune-up fight. I'm telling you that right now.
The idea out there amongst the boxing people, so this is a fluff fight for Triple G.
Yeah.
He lost to Alvarez.
Just because
he just wants
they don't know him.
An easy fight to get back out there, get a win,
but this is what I hate about
the rematch.
This is what I hate about boxing. Guys like Stephen A. Smith too. It's not at that point where UFC, there's no more, there's a few household names where people know. They were saying the same shit about Andy Ruiz. These guys are still
good quality competition.
There's top fighters. It's just because you don't know their name and you don't know who they fought or you haven't seen them on television or something, don't count them out. These guys have worked their whole lives for these fights. This is as from what I know about Steve and his coach, we've been talking about this fight for probably 5-6 years now. Gennady Golovkin. When he first, I'm telling you, when he came over to the States to do his US debut and stuff, they always, because everyone saw it in him, everyone knew Golovkin's a beast. He's gonna be a top middleweight. They've been talking about fighting him. They've always prepped for him. They've always talked about ways they think they can beat him. This is the fight that we've been talking about for 5 years. When I heard it was happening, I couldn't believe it. It was literally because I know this to Steve, this is a dream come true.
You were like a child in a candy shop.
Bro, I was worse when my coach first told me. I was literally jumping around. I feel like it's crazy when you train with these guys. I feel anxious this week. Today is the worst because I feel like I'm especially when I get to the fight, it's gonna be even worse because I feel like I'm the one about to fight, even though I'm not. It's just because I know the work that this guy's put in, and I know how much this means.
He's done
I know how much this means to him. I'm telling you, it's not about the dog in the fight. It's about the fight in the dog. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be a seriously competitive fight. This is not any kind of.
I saw Steve in an interview talking about how, a couple of years ago, maybe it was a year ago, he got to the point where he said, "All right, I know who I am. I know I'm a good fighter, but at some point, you got to get paid. Bills got to get paid. Yep. So when's that gonna happen?" And he was thinking to himself, he's like, "I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this."
It's true. He just had a kid too,
without getting the notoriety, right? And then he said, "I'm gonna beat Triple G, and this is gonna be the payday to change my life." I hope
Andy Ruiz said it last week at the exact same venue. My life has changed now forever. And he told his mom. His mom was at the press conference, and he told his mom, it's you don't have to do anything anymore. Just chill now for our lives are made now.
So tell us, what's your relationship like with Steve Rolls?
I've known him, I think, about 7-6 years. He's always, to me, aside from family and stuff, he's one of my only role models. My coach told me this about 5 years ago.
I don't inspire you? Wow.
But my coach told me this about 5 years ago. Because I always used to watch him train and just, like, kill dudes. But he's like, listen to me. He's like, look up to this guy. This guy, like...
He does it the right way,
It's the way he carries him. It's not just about boxing stuff. Like, of course, he can teach me in, like, countless things in boxing. But it's just the way he carries himself. Even the way he's carried himself throughout this fight. All the shit talking people go on, like, soldiers, they go on his posts on his Instagram talking about, I've never heard about this guy. Why are you going on his Instagram and talking shit then? They go on his posts, they start saying stuff, and I say it to him too, and I'm like, bro, like, how are you doing? He ignores it. He's like, literally, and he doesn't want any of us saying, because I used to argue with people and shit. I'd be up all night arguing with people online. He's like, just don't say anything. That's the best way to beat them. Don't say anything. Let the work talks for itself.
He's an inspiration away from the ring, is what you're getting at. His character and his heart.
It's the way he carries himself.
Yeah, he's that type of guy.
I'm telling you, and we've seen it in sports. Once you have a kid, your whole like
perspective changes.
That tunnel vision changes.
Kyle Lowry's talked about it. Fred VanVleet has talked about it,
and they've shown it.
I hope it works for Steve Rolls as well, right? So let's get down to the nitty gritty. It's the biggest fight in Canadian boxing history in 15 years.
Yes, and because Canadians are actually finally going down to the States and fighting.
I know,
not
right?
Just keeping it up here.
And who's the guy you're mentioning that refused to go down there?
Donna Stevenson. Hey, God bless him, man.
God bless.
I'm just hoping he's okay. Yeah.
He had his first public appearance, I believe, yesterday.
I always felt like the fault in his career was he never wanted to go down to the States and fight.
Yeah. So, what are the odds for Mr. Rolls to come away with his hand raised up in the air?
Golovkin, this guy ain't no joke, bro.
I know.
He has one loss on his record, and is that a loss? A lot of people don't think it's a loss.
Yeah.
That fight was closely competitive, and that's against the best in the world. Like, pound for pound, probably number one, who people talk about, in Canelo Alvarez. He's a dog, man. He's a fucking killer.
All right, you're beating around the bush here, bro. I know he's your boy. He's not
okay, listen. Give
me a percentage. What are the odds that he can come away with the victory?
This all depends on... So, Golovkin...
What's the X
factor? His
factor?
whole career. He's trained with... I can't fucking... Why am I... Abel Sanchez. His coach. Fucking... One of the best coaches in the game. Now, for this camp, there's some money issues between those two. He decided to leave Abel Sanchez, and he joined this other guy named Jonathan Banks, who was a heavyweight boxer. He didn't do too great. He's a better coach. Now, he's trying to change Golovkin completely. Golovkin was a guy to keep his hands up, walk forward, take shots, and give you harder ones. This guy's trying to make him implement foot movement, head movement, stuff.
It might be time for style change.
Okay, that's fine. He thinks this is a tune-up fight.
Yeah, he does.
So a lot of people, if you're gonna do a style change, you do it in a tune-up fight. I'm telling you, this is not a tune-up fight.
You think he's gonna have an Anthony Joshua situation?
It could happen. It's very well could happen.
Now, Steve looks like a smaller guy. I know Triple G hits hard, right?
Yeah,
he can knock you.
He can knock you.
Have you ever sparred with Steve or seen him?
It's taking punishment for
Obviously, you're an amateur, but what does it feel like when he hits you, even 50% sparring?
Well, like, he's the top of the level that I've sparred with. So, like, I don't know what it feels like to get hit by, like, someone like Triple G. I'm sure it's devastating. But, like, it's a different pop, man. I'm telling you, like, I've been hit by, like, amateurs. I've been hit by other pros. And then, like, when you're in a fight, it doesn't hurt. Like, when you're sparring and stuff. Like, but his shots, it felt like I was getting, like, stabbed with a knife. Like, I would even tell my coach right after we finished, I'd be like, bro, even if he throws a jab to the body, like, it's so painful. Like, it hurts. Like, you're actually in the fight, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it hurts. I'm telling you, the first time I got into a ring with this guy dropped me to the body about 8 times.
To the body?
To the body. Every time he touched the body, I couldn't breathe.
So this is why you never went pro, eh?
He made me rethink my whole existence, man. I'm telling you. But like, it's a whole different level.
All right.
Oh
Who was calling you while we record?
Weirdly enough, his brother-in-law.
Steve Rolls' brother-in-law.
Yeah, he's calling me right now.
Answer it. Answer it. So you're talking about Steve right now.
He's never called me.
So answer. It could be important. Just answer it. Answer it.
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna text him.
Wow. We could ask him a quick question.
It might be.
We could ask him what's going on in New York right now. Come on.
He's not in New York. He's probably at the gym right now.
Oh, is he involved with Olympia Boxing?
Yeah, he's also a pro boxer. Trains out of
let us know in the comments if he should have answered Steve Rolls' brother-in-law's call.
Okay,
who's never called Addis before in his life.
I talk to him every day, but
yeah, but he's never called.
Never
you.
called.
And we're talking about his brother-in-law going down to MSU to kick ass, and this guy refused to answer the phone.
Regardless, I'm telling you. Okay, I know Triple G. He's one of the best. He's of course he's the favorite, and I can see it. But I'm like, just because I know him personally and I've seen him train, I've seen him put in the work. I'm telling you, he's a dog. This is not an easy fight. If you have your money set on Triple G, do not feel comfortable.
What do you say is Steve's bigger asset? His physical abilities or his mental toughness?
I'm sorry, I just gotta send that text. He just asked me what the locker combo is.
Oh my god. Any day now. So.
Okay, wait. So
Addis is leaving at 2 a.m. tonight and driving straight to New York.
Yeah, I am.
He doesn't know if he's gonna let his girlfriend and her friend drive. He doesn't trust them.
No.
He's gonna drive her car.
Well, honestly, I'm probably the worst driver out of the three.
What?
I've had the most accidents, bro.
Honestly, I've had accidents too. But for a while, when I was in the whip with you when you got your license, I was holding on to the handles.
Wherever you want.
Still trust you to drive me places, but all right. Do you even know the question I asked you?
What's his best asset?
What's a bigger asset to him? Would you say his physical attributes and that type of training, or his mental toughness and preparation?
So his mental toughness is already through the roof. This guy he thinks he's the best, and that's exactly what.
So do you think it's gonna be his game plan or his physical fighting that's gonna win him the fight if he does?
So, from what we've seen from when the Golovkin's only lost against Canelo implemented so many body shots, especially off counters and stuff. Started off early, got him to slow down a bit and kind of change it and back up. Actually, Golovkin's never backed up in a fight before, and he actually got him to back up for this fight.
Wow.
So Steve has the one of these pros came from he's also from Russia, but I don't know what Jimmy trains at. He came down he sparred with Steve. And after the sparring session, he came up to him and said, honestly, I came in here and I'm like, this guy's going to get destroyed by Golovkin. And he's like, after sparring with you, I think you're going to win, man.
What?
He said this to him.
Do you know who this was?
Huh? He's a pro boxer from Russia. I just can't remember his name.
Come on, give us the information.
I can't remember his name, but he was saying, he's like,
has that guy sparred Golovkin before?
I don't think so. I think I remember I asked him, they said they don't think so. He sparred like other high level pros, but he was saying he's never been hit to the body that hard before. I'm telling you, I felt it. If he lands those body shots, they're no joke. They take wind out of you and they make you squeal a little bit.
All right, let's wrap up with this on this fight. If Steve wins, we obviously know it's gonna do wonders for his career. I think
Canada too, especially Canadian boxing.
I think he's gonna inspire some kids. I still think he'll have to fight at least one more fight before he gets a title shot, just because I don't think the money is gonna be there for that big of a fight. And Alvarez is gonna say,
"Bro, I don't think you understand who Golovkin is in boxing."
I do.
Golovkin is the boogeyman.
Who is Canelo Alvarez too, bro?
Huh? No, exactly. But I mean, no one's been able to decisively beat Golovkin. If he were,
yeah, but will they see it as kind of Joshua Ruiz? A lot of people are saying Joshua let it go, not that Ruiz beat him that much. They're saying that Joshua looked weak.
I guess, okay,
right?
You know
that always becomes a narrative when there's a big upset.
This is exactly what I hate about
whether it's correct or not. That is always the narrative.
It's true.
Right?
And who knows? Maybe they do a rematch if Golovkin does lose.
Okay, so
but
he's gonna be well. But if he loses,
yep.
Where does Steve go from here? Is he now in this,
his
big name
exactly.
pro boxing circuit, or is he gonna fall back out and nobody's ever gonna fight him again?
His name is in the mix now, and that's literally what we've been wanting. His promoter is Lou DiBella, who's probably one of the, aside from Al Heyman and Bob Arum, who's Pacquiao and Mayweather's promoters, he's probably one of the best promoters in the game. So now his name is in the mix. So this opens him up for numerous fights at middleweight. So win or lose, I feel like he's still set.
All right. Well, hey, Steve, if you're watching this, from both of us, good luck to you. We're cheering for you.
Sir.
Not just because you're a local boy, but because of what my buddy here just said. You're an outstanding person, everything you do. He wants to open up a gym to train kids in the future, and he says he's going to do that if he wins this fight and gets this money. So, kudos to you, and best of luck. I know Addis is going to be there. You're going to get us some footage. Get us something.
I'll probably FaceTime you. If Steve wins, bro, I'm going through the roof.
FaceTime me during the fight. Crazy. I just want to see that atmosphere. And we'll make a plan. and we're going to try, no promises. But after the fight, win or lose, we're going to try and get a little interview with Steve going.
Yeah.
It might be over the phone. Might be in the gym.
At least even my coach taught me how it.
Hey, Howitt. This guy's huge, man. Trains you.
I'm telling you, the best coach in the world.
I want to know how he deals with you every morning because I can't even deal with you for 2 hours doing a podcast.
Bro, everyone that's seen, they think he's my dad. Every time I'm seen with him, he has the exact same hair as me.
Yeah, but him and your dad don't look very alike.
Huh?
Him and your dad don't really look
No,
alike.
because he looks like me. Tommy.
I guess. I like your dad. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move over to controversy has been the tail of the tape in these NHL playoffs.
And we were talking about this earlier, man. These NHL playoffs have gone under the radar for some reason.
Under the radar and
here in Toronto. I don't know how it is down there in Boston and stuff.
Well, when I looked at the TV ratings, like the biggest areas, it was bad. Like the fourth, fifth highest TV rating area for this finals is Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody's paying attention.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, man.
The fuck?
Exactly.
You watch hockey in Wisconsin?
I didn't know that. Well, it makes sense. University of Wisconsin, decent hockey team, but that they're the fifth highest TV rating in North America.
Not even in
for
Boston.
This finals. No, Boston was in the top 4. Number 5 was Wisconsin.
But what was number 1?
I think number 1 was Boston. St. Louis was number 2. That
makes sense.
No other big markets were there, right? Last night, Tyler Bozak allegedly trips Nola Chari. Everybody's been going crazy, saying how could this not be called?
I wish we could play it for you.
But somebody forgot their laptop. Yeah. You know, loser at us.
So I can analyze it.
Missed call allegedly, and then Tyler Bozak gets the puck, swings it to his teammate. 2-on-1, tries to run the pass over, deflected. St. Louis ends up scoring.
Yep.
2-0 lead. Boston can't get back. They get 1 goal. Boston controlled much of that game. Jordan Binnington played well other than that 1 goal he allowed.
Boston outplayed them.
Yeah, I thought Boston was a better team, right? Now we both have a take that people.
It's not about being the better team in the whole game. It's about being the better team in those little moments.
Now, when it comes to that blown call, we both have a take that most people are gonna disagree with.
Probably, but honestly, I watched it probably 3 or 4 times a few minutes before we started the podcast. It doesn't look too much like from one angle from the front.
From the front, because he goes down so
like
aggressive.
A trip. But when you show it slow motion from the back, he kind of pulls it back.
He does. He
doesn't realize that it looks like that his stick kind of tripped him, but he pulls it back. I felt like freaking things sold it.
Achari.
Yeah, Achari sold it.
I believe
because he's kicked up his leg like he just
Bozak was going for the puck,
swept
totally missed
under his feet.
Yeah, and then he kind of it was more a slash than a trip because he hit the back of his feet and then realized it and pulled his foot back and his stick back, and then Achari's feet just went out from under him.
You play hockey. You tell me if you get hit behind the thigh, because that's where I saw the stick really make contact. Is your whole leg kicking up? Because I know it's a bit like with the skate and stuff.
Not really. Like as a goalie, for me, what I do when guys are standing in front of me, and I want to knock them down, there's 2 things I'll do. One, which he did a little bit on the right foot. I'm hitting them on the back of the Achilles. Yeah. Because their knee will buckle and they'll go down. But their feet are not going to go out like that.
Exactly.
If I want their feet to go out, I'm putting my stick under the back of his blade, my goalie stick, and I'm just tapping it because he's going to lose his balance.
Exactly.
I thought it was a weird reaction. Achari, I'm not saying he dove or whatever, but I think he felt that contact a little bit on the Achilles.
You would agree that he
and his feet, I don't really understand how his feet went flying like that.
Yeah. Because to me, it's because he sold it.
So I'm not saying it shouldn't have definitely not been a penalty. I think if it was a penalty, it wasn't a trip. It should have been a slash. Should have been a slash because he hit him like that.
He did hit it. Yeah, we get that.
You saw Tyler Bozak's reaction when he put his arms up because he knew. He's like, I didn't follow through with the trip. I pulled it back, and he was like, the crowd went crazy. Really gonna call that a penalty? Like I didn't even do nothing for that trip. So I'm not with the Boston fans and the mass media and everybody going crazy online.
I'm telling you, watch it over and over again.
It's not as big of a blown call as people think. People are relating this, like Craig Button on TSN, some other guys, to the NFC East missed pass interference in New Orleans and LA Rams. This is nowhere near that, in my opinion. That was crazily blatant.
The difference between that one is that one, when you saw it in slow motion, you're like, oh, fuck. Okay,
yeah, like, come on.
But this one, when you see it in slow motion, I'm telling you, watch it again, you're kind of like, actually, maybe I don't think that was a trip.
If his knees had kind of folded, and he fell down,
it was, for me, it's all about how he fell.
Yeah,
your legs don't kick up like that if you get hit back in the back of the thigh.
It's weird.
And it's like, okay, if he followed through and kind of like swept him, no, he touched it and pulled back.
If he swept his stick through and took his feet forward,
I would fully understand.
Yeah, but his stick came back. It made contact with the slash, pulled it back. Could have been a slashing penalty? Yes. Would I have said it had to been called a slash? No. Should have been called a trip? No. And are we in the minority? 100%. Because I haven't seen one person online or anywhere saying that it shouldn't have been a penalty.
That shouldn't?
Yeah, I've not seen one person say it shouldn't have been a penalty.
But hey, the Boston fans are
gonna start ripping me.
Boston fans are like, they're flying off the wire. You also showed me a fight in the stands that happened between Boston fans, not between St. Louis and Boston fans. Between Boston fans only.
If you haven't seen this, do yourself a favor. Go to Instagram NHL.discussion or just Google Boston fan fight or go to YouTube. 2 separate fights break out in the same group. I don't know what it was about. They're face to face. Guy throws a whole beer on this guy's jersey.
Yeah, I blame the kid, the younger guy at least.
No matter what's happening, why are you dumping a beer?
Dump that's first off, you're losing money. You just spent on that freaking beer.
$12 beer.
Second, that's the most disrespectful thing you can do to a person. Throw a beer on them. You have to fight at that point.
You're a Bruins fan. You just ruined his Bruins jersey.
I know, yeah, they're Bruins fans. Look at his sweater. He has a Bruins sweater on. Why are you throwing a beer on that?
If somebody threw a beer on, like, if I was wearing a Mitch Marner jersey, forget that it's autographed. I'm just wearing a Mitch Marner jersey. Somebody dumps a beer on that.
It's a fight. I'm telling you.
I'm throwing. I'm calling you to come to the arena.
Any beer thrown on anyone is a fight.
Yeah.
Because the other person's be like, okay, you know what? You want to disrespect me so much that you losing your own money?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fight.
Yeah, and the second Tilly, these guys were going wild too. They were throwing snuffs.
How was it in the... Because I missed the game. How was it when that trip happened? How did the fans react?
Fans were going nuts.
Were they?
And then the goal was scored. Boos were raining down. But again...
Were beers being thrown on the ice?
No. But when you're a fan of the arena and you just see that live, you can't tell. You just see a guy's stick go and your guy go flying.
And honestly, if I was from Boston and a Boston fan, I probably would have argued it.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Boston fans. Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comments. We'll tell you why you're wrong. Because we're right.
So, but you thought it would be at least slashing, no?
No, I thought you could call slash. I wouldn't say you had to call slash because it's an NHL playoffs and they let worse stuff go every game. They let worse stuff go that game. It's the playoffs.
They're going to change the whole result of the game, though?
It ended up being the game-winning goal because it put them up 2-0.
Yeah.
So I guess. But as Bob McKenzie says, it's NHL playoffs. If it's regular season, sure. But that rule book is sitting at the bottom of Hudson Bay.
Especially when it's like that point in the game.
The thing is, refs always say they don't want to decide the game, right? So it's a third period. They don't want to make that call, and then.
And hey, I'll be devil's advocate. If you're a Boston player, the ref did decide the game by not making the call.
In a way, because they got the puck because of the direct result of that trip, right? So.
It goes both ways.
Anything else you want to say on that, Steve Rolls or the Raptors?
Raptors win. Steve Rolls wins. And I still got Boston winning the Stanley Cup.
You know, I know Blues are up 3-2. Some telling me right. I picked the Blues to win in 7.
You did.
So
I had Boston winning in 5, so I was way off.
I don't know. Bruins have been the better team in majority of the games. St. Louis have just scored more timely goals.
And I wanted to also mention Chara playing with a broken jaw. What a champ.
I hate the guy, but respects to him.
What a champ, man.
He didn't play his regular ice time, only played 16 minutes and some change yesterday. But if you can't talk out there, if anybody who's played high-level hockey, if you cannot talk out there, especially as a defenseman in the NHL playoffs, it's extremely difficult for you not to be able to communicate with your teammates.
I even feel like with the hits, though, because I know how painful like a broken jaw can be.
Now, people are going to call me slimy. I didn't see it happen last night. If I'm a St. Louis player, if I'm Patrick Maroon,
hit him.
If I'm Vince Dunn, I'm punching him in the face in a scrum.
He's a big guy, man. He might have a broken jaw, but he still might kill you. You know?
So go for it. You know what he did to Sidney Crosby in the playoffs, 2013? Maybe it wasn't playoffs.
Man, that's where your saltiness comes from, eh?
No, but he did the exact same thing. Crosby had a bad jaw injury. First game that he took off his full face shield, the same one that Chara's wearing, in a scrum.
He punched him?
Chara just goes and punches him right in the face. Right in the jaw. So what goes around comes around, buddy. Chara, in my opinion, is a dirtier player than people think he is. I think he's actually kind of dirty.
But I feel like that would lead to a fight even after the game.
So?
Huh? He's a big guy, yo.
Yeah, and he's one of the best defensemen. If you knock Chara out of the series, that's big emotionally for them.
It's huge.
It's huge emotionally for them. Even though he's not the player that he was, for them to see him playing, going through that, ramps them up. When he got injured last game and he couldn't even play, but he comes and sits on the bench with the guys.
I'm impressed that he's playing with a broken jaw. It's insane. Yeah,
but still, if I'm the Blues, I'm trying to rip that thing off his face.
Hey,
and then you hope that a Bruins guy jumps you and takes a penalty.
The thing is, though, you're playing for a championship, so like, win at all costs.
Exactly, right? I'm putting my face in front of a puck if I have to win a championship, especially the NHL Stanley Cup, man, the hardest trophy to win in all of sports. So we'll leave you with that. Blues, work on some punching bags. Watch Steve Rolls this weekend. He'll show you how to get the Chara and get him out of the series, man. He'll
show you how to get the Chara.
Yeah. Watch Steve Rolls.
Oh, I got
You're
you.
slow.
Got you.
You're slow. Drink more of that coffee, buddy. All right. For Addis Kucukovic, I'm Jay Boyal. Good luck to the Raptors, Steve Rolls, and
we're out of the mix.
Knocking out Zdeno Chara in the mix.